Imagine waking up at 2 a.m. and rising to start your day. You get dressed in darkness, seeing only by the light of the moon as you hear hyenas call in the distance. Your first task of the day is to walk 6 miles to collect water. You're in Malawi in the community of Ofesi. The closest water source is a small stream located 3 miles away. You might be thinking, why not move closer to the water? Living near water is not always possible because of land ownership and proximity to other essential resources like fertile land for farming, access to schools, and livelihood opportunities. The task of collecting water is not only time-consuming and strenuous, it's also dangerous. You share the water source with livestock and wildlife like hippos, crocodiles, and snakes. And as if all of this was not enough, the water itself is contaminated with bacteria and parasites from animals and polluted with contaminants like fertilizer, pesticides, and industrial waste. Your next challenge is to bring home as much water as you can carry, which will need to last your family the entire day. If the water level is high enough, you're able to fill 3 jerry cans, 5 gallons each, for a total of 15 gallons of water. Each full can weighs 41 pounds. Then you begin the 3-mile journey home, carrying 125 pounds of water. This routine takes you 3 hours to complete, and you must get it done regardless of your health, your age, or the weather, and you must arrive home in time to start your sunrise chores, making breakfast for your family, bathing your children for school, and cleaning before you begin the job that earns your income. Now imagine that this is your daily reality for every single day, year after year. For millions of people around the world, this isn't a story about some imagined person far away. It's their life. 2.2 billion people, over 25% of the world's population, lack access to safely managed drinking water, and Malawi is one of the most water-stressed countries in the world. These open sources can dry up without warning, forcing people to trek even further away to new sources, increasing the time it takes, and limiting the amount of water they can collect. This water stress is due to a combination of factors, including inadequate water infrastructure, poor water management practices, and climate change. These open sources are also unsafe. The World Health Organization estimates that 70% of people in Malawi rely on unsafe water that can lead to diseases like cholera and dysentery. And the World Bank reports that diarrheal diseases from unsafe water kill 1.6 million people every year worldwide. Let's talk about why women are in the title of this story. It's because women are the most affected by this problem. Worldwide, women and girls spend an estimated 200 million hours every day collecting water. That is a massive investment of their valuable time that they could be using for something, anything else. In Malawi, it's primarily women and girls who are responsible for fetching water, while men in these families follow the traditional role of spending their working hours providing income. When water is a problem, it's women who carry the burden. For women and girls around the world, inadequate access to safe water is about more than just time. It's life and death. Obviously, using unclean water comes with health risks for the entire community, but women and girls are exposed to additional hazards when they collect and use open source water. First, carrying so much weight over long distances can cause injuries long term. Also on these long journeys, often in darkness, women and girls are exposed to harassment and violence. And the health risks to women don't stop there. Women who must use contaminated water for prenatal care increase their risk of maternal and infant mortality. Girls also need access to clean water for washing reusable pads or cloths, bathing, and maintaining hygiene during menstruation. Without clean water, girls are forced to reuse poorly cleaned materials, increasing the risk of urinary and reproductive tract infections. There are also significant barriers to education. Sick children don't go to school. Dirty children don't learn well. And thirsty children don't play. Time spent fetching water is often time spent out of school. Girls are more than twice as likely as boys to be pulled out of school to collect water for their household. In many parts of rural Malawi, schools do not have reliable access to safe water, making menstrual hygiene management nearly impossible at school. A 2021 study in Malawi found that only 13% of girls reported having access to both soap and clean water at school during their periods. This lack of access, in addition to cultural taboos surrounding menstruation, caused many girls to drop out when they reach puberty or miss 1 week of every month of school. There are also barriers to livelihood. According to the World Bank, a woman's earning potential increases by 20% for every year of education she completes. Dropping out of school costs a lifetime of income. And it's not just about the future. $260 billion is lost globally each year because women must spend time carrying water instead of pursuing income-generating work. All of this data makes it clear that lack of access to safe water is a massive issue in need of urgent solutions, and outreach is tackling this issue in the most effective way possible, at the local level. When Outreach International partners with communities, we don't bring a blueprint. We teach a process, one that helps people identify their own problems and act on their own solutions. This means we don't just install wells. We help communities design solutions they can manage and maintain themselves. The community makes the decisions, leads the work, and owns the outcome. And time again, across the countries where we work, it's women who show up, it's women who organize, and it's women who lead. In fact, across outreach-supported communities, 70% of the groups are made up of women, and when it comes time to elect leadership, women are voted into 65% of those roles by their peers. In Ofesi, the group chose to install a borehole well, a deep, narrow hole drilled deep enough to reach the underground water table that holds clean water protected from contaminants. And now, because of their work, nearly 4,000 people across 6 communities have access to reliable, clean water right in their own backyard. That is the power of community-led development. It doesn't just create change, it transfers ownership of that change to the people most affected. Let's talk about what happens when a community leads its own development, when local people come together, identify a challenge, and create a lasting solution. Over the past year, our team in Malawi collected survey data from more than 185 households across 6 communities, including Ofesi. We asked the community to tell us how their lives have changed since the borehole water well was constructed. What we heard was powerful. People reported saving over 2.5 hours each day on average, just in the time it takes to collect water. That's over 18 hours a week. Families are now using on average 26 more gallons of water every single day. This is still a fraction of the amount of water used by a single American, but it's almost 3 times more water available for drinking, cooking, bathing, and laundry. People are healthier. They bathe more regularly, cook more easily, and wash clothes more often. Some families even noted a decrease in diarrhea and malaria. In many cases, families are even able to water gardens that provide fresh vegetables and extra income. And the improvements didn't stop there. With their extra time and energy, women are spending more time at work, growing gardens, starting businesses. Husbands and wives told us they have more quality time together. Parents shared that their children are getting to school on time, bathed, and ready to learn. And the single greatest outcome of having close access to clean water was peace. Peace of mind in knowing that they had their time back. The peace of knowing that the water was no longer going to make their family sick. It all starts with water, and it's only possible because of you. You've just heard about the incredible difference you're making for people in Malawi. Just imagine the possibilities when you decide to make that goodness grow. Please consider joining our monthly giving program, the Sustainers Club, or investing in Outreach International's work worldwide. Thank you.